consider the system of equations. I got 3x plus 2y equals 6. That's in standard form. And I got y equals 1/2 x minus 5. Wait, this is in slope-intercept form. We're going to solve this system of equations by graphing. We got to draw two lines here today, folks. Let's see. Let's start with this. 3x plus 2y equals 6. Maybe you're somebody that loves slope-intercept form and you're good at algebra. Go ahead, get y by itself if that's what you like to do. You would subtract 3x from both sides. You'd get 2y equals negative 3x plus 6. Then you divide everything by 2. You'd get y equals negative 3 halves x plus 6. It'd have a slope of negative 3 halves and a y-intercept of 3. I'm sorry, yeah, 6 divided by 2 is 3. It would be the intercept, not 6. Okay. But you don't have to do that. I recommend with this, let's just find these intercepts. Let's just plug in x, plug in 0 for x, see what y equals. Plug in 0 for y. See what x equals. We just need 2 points to graph this line. Alrighty. Let's see what happens when x equals 0. That's going to be our vertical intercept. When x equals 0, we're going to find when the graph crosses this axis right here. All right, when x is 0, 3 times 0 is 0. All you got left is 2y equals 6. And to get y by itself, I'd have to divide both sides by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Let's write that down here. We found out when x is 0, 2y equals 6. I've got 2 times y. So I'm going to do the opposite of multiplication. I'm going to divide both sides by 2 and find out that y equals 6 over 2, which is 3. I'll plot this point right over here. There's my vertical intercept for that first equation. I need one more point to graph a line. Let's find out what happens when y equals 0. When y equals 0, what's going to happen here? 2 times 0 is 0. All we got left is 3x equals 6. I've got 3 times x. To get x by itself, I'm going to need to do the opposite of multiplication. I'm going to have to divide by 3 so I can get 1x. But if I divide one side by 3, I got to divide the other side by 3. So x equals 6 over 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Here we go. That's all we need to graph this line. It's going down 3 over 2. This thing has a slope of negative 3 halves. And a y-intercept of 3. Down 2. What is it? Down 3 over 2. Down 3 over 2. Slope of negative 3 halves. And there you go. So now we need one more line here. And then we're going to point to the solution, which is the intersection. Let's check out this other one here. We got y equals 1/2 x minus 5. Now, my friends, this is an y equals mx plus b. That's slope-intercept form. So guess what we got right here? We got the y-intercept. That's when x is 0. Is this little number right here. It makes total sense. If you plug in x 0 for x, I guarantee you y is going to be negative 5. Let's put it on the graph. And then what's that funny little 1/2 doing there in front of the x? Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, is our slope. It's the coefficient of x. If you have y by itself and it says y equals something, whatever that number in front of x is, it's going to be your slope. Now, the slope is change in y over change in x. How much is it going up or down? Divided by how much does it go to the right. Remember, we always read our graph left to right. And I know my little triangles are a little bit ugly, but those are supposed to be deltas, which means change in math and science. Right there. You could also call it rise over run. You just got to remember that it's not always rising. If it's got a negative slope, it's got a negative rise, but it always runs to the right. All right, let's see here. 1/2. This thing's going up 1 square, 2 squares to the right. Up 1, 2 to the right. Up 1, 2 to the right. Up, there's our solution right there. Up 1, 2 to the right. Up 1, 2 to the right. Bada bing, bada boom. Line them all up. There's 2/3 of the points for this thing. If you can graph those two lines, you got 2/3 of this correct. Now, for that last 30%, you got to tell me where the solution is. Where do both of these lines have the same x, the same y at the same time? That, my friends, is right here at the point of intersection. Right there. So what is that? What's the coordinates of that thing? It's looking like x equals 4, y equals -3. And so what happens is you plug 4 in for x and -3 in for y. It will make both of these true. Try it out if you don't believe me.